Alright guys, today we are going to go into the XY era of Pokemon and check out some singles that may be some good investment opportunities for you in 2022. So guys, if you're new here, hit that subscribe, hit that notify, and as always, hit that like button. We get 65 likes on this video. It's greatly appreciated. It helps us out a ton. And just a reminder here at the beginning, of course, we are doing our box break coming out next Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Central Time. So if you're interested in getting into that, there's still a couple seats available, so check out the link below. Definitely, if you want to get into that, purchase your seats now. We will also, if there's any left, have the seats available during a live. So if you join us and decide you want to jump in on it, the options will be there also. I'll be taking them all the way until they're sold out, and we'll just go from there. So guys, today I was going to be talking about booster boxes. I know in the comments I said I was going to be talking about booster boxes, but when it was all said and done, I just couldn't find enough data to make a video on the XY era booster boxes. All of them are sitting pretty flat. Actually, we've seen some down movements on some of the sets, like the XY base set and XY Flashfire, which were the ones that were kind of interest or really high priced back in the day. And now we're starting to see a little bit downward pressure on those ones for some reason. I mean, I think it's just the high prices keeping them from selling really well, and people are trying to get rid of them. So, of course, they are starting to actually sell them lower at that price. So I decided just to skip over XY booster boxes, move Sunday's video to now, where we will just be talking about singles. I'll kick over to the desktop and I'll show you some reasonings on why I think these singles might give you some great opportunities to do maybe grading in the future and maybe do some other things with them in order to move forward with them. So let me switch over to desktop. That's right, the first one that I got here is the full art Blastoise from base set XY. I enjoy a lot of these XY full arts. This is one of them that I've always really enjoyed. I think that it's a very nice looking card for the full art section. But as you can see right here, I'm going to show you. Last sold in the raw was about $26.36 on eBay. TCG Player right now in the near mint version, they're running about $50 to $55 for this full art. Now, why do I think this is a great opportunity for an investment side of things? Well, as grading starts to open up and PSA maybe becomes available here in the next year or a year and a half, check out the PSA 9 and the PSA 10 options. So if you were to actually get one of these full arts in near mint condition, this is going to be a great opportunity that when these drop back down to like $20 grading, hopefully in the next year or two, you could actually send this out for grading. And of course, there's a little bit of a risk involved with this. I'm not going to lie. The pricing of these could drop. Realistically, will it? Probably not, unless something really major happens in the hobby to push these prices down further than what they are right now. So if you look at it and you send it out for grading for $20 and you spend $55 right now on this card, you're looking at about $75 to $80 in grading, if getting it assessed and graded at PSA. So now if you actually take a look at that, if you get a 9, which to me, if you check it out and do your due diligence on it, should be pretty consistent. You can get 9s on some of these cards. Obviously, it's a lot easier to grade in a 9. You're still looking at about $145 right now for the sales price on this PSA 9. The other good thing is, too, is if you go to 10, which 9 and 10 are almost identical in price, guys. So even going to a 10, it's not a huge bump. But that gives you a good window on this card to hit in order to be able to make decent profit. And once again, if you go down even to 8 and 7, look at 7. You'd break even at a 7. And for whatever reason, an 8 is actually going a little bit lower. But I'm willing to bet that if you put a 7 and an 8 about the same price, you're probably going to break even at these 7, 8, 9, and 10 range. So definitely a great opportunity on this card as grading options might be coming available. As this continues to open up a little bit here, hopefully in the near future, these might be some good opportunities here. Next one I'm going to pull up for you guys is the Charizard full art from XY Flashfire. Once again, this card is going for about $110. Now, I do still like this one because if you check out the 9-10 grade, if you can get this in a near mint 9 or 10, you have a great opportunity to actually make decent profit on this if you can get it down to that $20 grading point. Once again, it all comes down to when PSA can actually open back up to that lower grading tier. And, you know, the assumption is that, and this is complete speculation, it's complete guess, guys, that we will be hopefully seeing at least $20 grading here, $25 grading by the end of this year. I've been hearing some rumors or rumblings that PSA is kind of shooting for that, but it's not a guarantee. And I haven't gotten it from any real confirmed sources, but that's just rumblings that are out in the Pokemon community right now. So if you look at this, you can actually look, if you can send this in and get a good condition card from TCG Player, or even if you're shopping around on eBay and are able to pull this off, you have a great opportunity to be able to grade this card, have $130 to $140 onto its value, and be able to potentially pull out of there with $230 to $250. Or if you can get a 10, which it seems like it's fairly difficult to grade compared to a 9, if you can pull out a 10, you're looking at a $1,750 card for a potential of a $150 investment. That's not bad, guys. And even so, if you were to sit on this raw card and not get it graded, you would still have a great opportunity for this and not really drop beyond this point right here and still be around that $100 to $110 range in the near future. So there's definitely some opportunities on these cards to at least stay even or stay level with them. But hopefully, as time goes on, they will slightly increase on their own. And also, if you get them graded, you have some opportunities for some good gains on those cards. So just wanted to bring these up, and that's the point of this video, is to look back at XY at some of these kind of hidden opportunities, in my opinion, that people may not be looking at because they're not thinking about future grading right now. Because of the grading situation, they're not looking at that, but it's definitely an option out there. Next one that I really enjoy is this full art Gengar from, of course, XY Phantom Forces. Another good opportunity on this card, guys. TCG Player right now in the near mint is running right here about that $50 or less. And of course, they're selling on eBay for about $40 to $42, right in that range. I was looking on there, and that's what they were at. Once again, if you were to go ahead and put $20 to $30 grading, even all the way down to a PSA 8, you're going to break even. And I know people don't like to break even, but at least to me, it's a security blanket when you're going into the grading market to at least see a 0 point and have an opportunity to go from there. Once again, if you can get that 9 on this card, which seems to be a pretty consistent grade coming out of PSA on this, you're looking at $212.10. So once again, that's a good 4x profit margin right there on that, just by going in and getting it graded and coming back as a 9. 8's your break even. And then of course, we're looking at our 10 price. If you can pull out a 10 somehow, you'd be looking at about $800. So great opportunities. That's a 10x profit margin potentially on this by using grading. And the point of this video is also show you how sometimes looking at some of these cards in the past, you could look at grading potential when it opens up and be able to definitely take advantage of that when it comes down to it in the future. Next one I'm going to go into, full art Lugia EX. That's right. This one is from Ancient Origins, another old XY set, fun set, and another one that there are some great opportunities. And actually, I've been seeing quite a few of them through eBay selling in that raw for about $25 to $28. So this is actually a pretty consistent price on that side. Nice thing is on some of the eBay ones, you can definitely check out the cards a little bit better. Same thing on TCG Player. You're running about 50 to 55 has been a recent sales. This is the market average for them, so we're sitting about $53. Once again, if you were to put $20 on this for the grading fees, or even $30, you're looking at about $80. Once again, you're pretty close to breaking even, and maybe with a little bit of wait time, you can maybe break even on that worst case scenario with a PSA 8. If you can get that PSA 9, you're going to double up on your profit. And of course, the nice thing is if you can get a 10, which if you look for your 9 to 10s, they're actually pretty consistently able to get one or the other. You could be potentially looking at, going up about 4x, 5x on your money. So once again, I'm just pointing out that these are some possible good opportunities when grading opens up. Once again, do we think that this Lugia card is going to go backwards from around this $55 to $50 range? Probably not. It's been pretty consistent, and if we look down here on the charts and all these, you can see, it's been staying pretty consistently right around that $50, $60 range. There's been a couple blips down to like the upper 30s, but realistically, this has been kind of its price point in the last, well, if we go all the way back, you got all the way back to July of last year. So it's been staying pretty consistent, and so typically we're not going to be seeing a downturn on this card. So it gives you that kind of security blanket that the pricing isn't going to drop out from underneath you from these two prices. So once again, good security blanket, definitely a good opportunity. If you can get around that $25 range, and the way you can look at it is if it does have a little whitening, or it might be a little off center, and you can see that on eBay, and you do even pay $25 or $20 for it down there, you will actually still will be breaking even around that 7 to 5 range. So there's some good opening windows in this card to actually have some opportunities to do some grading. Of course, once again, when grading opens up at the lower tiers or the bulk tiers, that's when you want to take opportunities. This you will never make any money on these taking them into grading at $100 unless you get 10. So it does not make it worth it at that point. Definitely wait for them grading tiers to open up around that $20 to $25 range at the minimum. It'd be awesome if they would open back up to the $10 range so that we could really see some opportunities to get in on those. Next one I have here, MewTwo EX. Once again, that's just because of my bias. I love Mewtwo. And once again, it's a little bit more difficult on this one, but still, this card is selling for about $17 on TCG Player and also about, $13 on eBay. Now, once again, you put on a $20 fee on the roughly $20, $25, $20, $30 on there on the fees. You're still sitting pretty good at a 9, and obviously it's actually sitting pretty well at getting graded at a 9. If you can pull out a 10, if you get a nice condition card, good centering, send it out, and you pull out a 10 from PSA 10 or from PSA, you're going to end up with a nice little paycheck on this, because if you can think about that, going from here, which you're going to be looking at about $45 in the grading fees, to around $250, that's a heck of a gain. Even if you go here, you're still going to be looking at making $15 on that. Once again, 7/8 are going to put you a little bit down, but once again, if them grading tiers don't open, it's not going to drop much below there, guys. That's a pretty safe number to be looking at. Final one that I've got here for the day is one of my favorite ones from the Fates Collide series, which of course is the Full Art Umbreon EX. Another nice card sitting here at the TCG Player for $27 on the near mint side, and of course at the eBay, these are all recent sold, so some of them could be damaged, it could be whatever, but you're looking at about $17.50. I was looking through there, and actually it's about $23 for the near mint versions of this card. Another opportunity here though, guys. If you can get this around $25, you're gonna have $50 in the grading. If you check this out from 8, 9, and 10, you are at least gonna break even at 9. You're gonna make 20 or break even at 8. You're gonna make a little bit of money at 9. And of course, you're going to make some decent profit on this 10. And this 10 compared to 9 is not too bad for grading. They actually are coming out with quite a few 10s, even 9s. So once again, if you fall into these windows, you could be looking at some really good profit. And definitely watch these cards. Now might be the time to buy them while the market's down on some of these, because they may raise up here in the near future on all of these cards. But you have the ability to be watching these numbers as time goes on again in another year or two. We may see some movement up. We may see some interest in some of these cards, especially with the evolution stuff going on right now. And that may actually drive these prices even a little bit higher before we actually get to that point. But once again, I just wanted to bring these up to you guys. I just think that there's some good opportunities sitting out there right now in the singles market with XY Evolutions. These are all full arts. They're actually fairly common to find. They're not really difficult. And price-wise, they're not too bad to take those kind of risks on these cards to have the opportunity to potentially be able to get them graded here in the future. Hopefully, PSA does open up, and we can see PSA grading opened up for Pokemon cards in that $20 tier. I'm hoping that in the next year or two, we'll be seeing it down into that $10 tier. I don't know if they'll ever go that low again. It just depends on how many people start sending in when they open up each tier down on the bulk grading. So once again, guys, definitely check these options out. Definitely some good cards, and I do like this artwork. They're displayable cards. They look good in a collection, so they will be actually probably sought after in the next few years, at least 10 years to come. So if you do like this info, guys, this is always hit that like button. Make sure that you hit that before you leave. It helps us out a ton. Once again, as a reminder, we are going to be doing that box break here on April 30th. Check the link down below if you're interested in jumping in on that. And last but not least, if you're new here, hit that subscribe and hit that notify. That way you can keep up to date with what we're doing and get information as we give it to you. So if you do like this kind of content, as always, check out these 2 videos up over here. I'll put them up for your entertainment afterwards. And we will see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.